Well, just that we are all creatures of habit, and as such, we usually keep those things we consider precious, such as mementos of close friendships, in a place that is most private to us, Mr. Rourke suggested. I get it, boss. I'm Boss Cottage, Tattoo said, correcting himself quickly. His cottage. Could be, Mr. Rourke nodded. In any event, I believe it is worth checking out. Shall we? Thank you, Tattoo said as they walked toward the small, rustic cottage where Ambrose had lived. Inside, the cottage was quiet and covered in a thin layer of dust. Kind of spooky, huh, boss? Almost like I'm boss is still alive, Tattoo whispered. Perhaps he is, Tattoo. In a sense, Mr. Rourke said softly. He walked over to a small desk and picked up a handwritten journal. Tattoo, will you come here, please? This will be of great interest to you. Mr. Rourke began to read the final entry in Ambrose's journal aloud. The loneliness of old age is little understood by those who have not yet walked in the constant shadow of death. I have known and suffered the abuse and indignity until finally I turned away from people. Only one person seemed to understand what it is like to grow old, to be without companionship. He used to come and visit me, asking for nothing, only to say hello. I hold him as my true and only friend. And his name is Tattoo. Tattoo's eyes filled with tears as Mr. Rourke closed the book. Well, Tattoo, it seems you've found the best friend you were looking for. Tattoo, you're a millionaire. Boss, I'm a millionaire? Tattoo gasped, his voice trembling. Oh, yes, Mr. Rourke smiled warmly. I can't believe this, Tattoo whispered, turning to Miss Stanton who had just entered the cottage. Miss Stanton, I'm a millionaire. I'm rich, I'm rich. I can't believe this. This is fantastic. I'm rich, I'm a millionaire. Oh, this is fantastic. I'll see you later. I'm rich. Tattoo ran out of the cottage, shouting to the wind. Hey, guys. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. Where are you? Hey, guys. I'm a millionaire. I'm rich. Where are you, guys? Back in the historic fantasy world, the pirate who had captured Mrs. Soames was tying her to a chair in his tavern. Oh, you're in trouble, fooling, Mrs. Soames threatened him, struggling against the ropes. You wait and see. I'll get even with you. Suddenly, Herbert Soames sneaked into the tavern through a back window. Herbert, darling, over here. Mrs. Soames whispered loudly. Hurry, hurry. Where have you been? Herbert whispered back, rushing over to her. Completely and totally lost. Well, don't just stand there. Untie me, she ordered. Of course, Herbert said, fumbling with the knots. Oh, Herbert, she winced. Sorry, dear, he said. Oh, she cried out again. Suddenly, the pirate walked back into the room and roared with anger. Hey, what do you think you're doing? That's my woman. I beg your pardon, sir, but she is my wife, Herbert said, trying to sound brave. I saw her first. She is my wife. The pirate yelled, shoving Herbert. Oh. Herbert groaned, then tried to push back. She is my wife. Oh, Herbert. Mrs. Soames cried as the two men began to scuffle. I saw her first. She's mine. The pirate insisted. Ooh, Herbert groaned as he took another hit. Suddenly, a dignified-looking man in a fancy coat and tricorn hat walked into the tavern, flanked by guards. I beg to differ with you, sir, but this woman happens to be married, the man announced. Hey, stop it, Mrs. Soames yelled at everyone. The gentleman stepped forward. There will be no fighting over this woman. Since the two of you have laid claim to her, the only thing to do is to award her to the highest bidder. And who do you think you are? Mrs. Soames asked, glaring at him. I am the governor, madam, he announced proudly. Now, I will start the bidding at 50 francs. Do I hear 60? 60 francs. The pirate shouted. 70, Herbert countered weakly. 80 francs. The pirate barked. I have 80 francs. Once. Twice. The governor called out. Herbert, what are you waiting for? Mrs. Soames demanded. That's an awful lot of francs, Herbert whispered, counting his imaginary pockets. Bid, Herbert, she ordered. 90. Herbert shouted. 90 francs. Once. Twice. Sold for 90 francs, the governor declared. Pay the man, Herbert, Mrs. Soames said, shaking her head. Yes, my dear, Herbert said, looking embarrassed as he turned to the governor. I'm awfully sorry, but I don't seem to have any cash. Oh, Herbert, Mrs. Soames sighed loudly. You've always told me never to carry it. Ah. What? What is it? Herbert asked the governor. Don't you take credit cards? The governor looked completely baffled by the term. The pirate stepped forward, tossing a pouch of coins to the governor. 80 francs, and she's yours, the pirate told the governor, but the governor handed the contract to the pirate instead. Thank you, sir. You are now legally my wife, the pirate told Mrs. Soames with a grin. You bum, Mrs. Soames yelled at the pirate, then turned her fury back to her husband. You'll pay for this outrage, Herbert. Find Alison. At least try to save her. It is too late. She has already fallen in love with Captain Warrington, Herbert said sadly. You heard me, Herbert. Herbert. She yelled as the pirate dragged her into the back room again. Back on Fantasy Island, Tattoo had moved into the most luxurious villa on the property. He was dressed in a fancy robe, sitting at a massive dining table. Mr. Rourke walked in, observing the scene with an amused smile. Boss, Tattoo said, looking up. Yes. Mr. Rourke asked. What is my girl doing here? I don't understand, Tattoo said, looking around at the staff serving him. Oh, no, 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 Mr. Rourke chuckled. Allow me, please. What is this? What is going on? The head waiter bowed deeply. Welcome to the presidential bungalow, Mr. Tattoo. I hope it meets with your approval, Mr. Tattoo. Would you care for some champagne, Mr. Tattoo? Thank you, Tattoo said, feeling a bit awkward. Mr. Rourke? The waiter asked, offering a glass. Thank you, Mr. Rourke accepted. The chefs prepared this meal especially for you, Mr. Tattoo, the waiter continued, lifting the silver domes. Rack of lamb, potatoes julienne, and crepe Suzette. Mr. Rourke raised his glass. I propose a toast to Mr. Tattoo and his very good fortune. Hey, Missy, you want to join us, too? Tattoo asked Miss Stanton, who had walked in with some legal papers. Oh, no, I'm afraid we can't, Miss Stanton replied with a polite smile. The rule against fraternizing with the guests. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must be getting back to work. I trust you'll enjoy your stay with us. Oh, and I would appreciate it if you stopped by my office later on and see me. At your convenience, of course. Excuse me. Would you like some mint jelly with your lamb, sir? The waiter asked Tattoo. Already cut that sir business out, Tattoo said, waving his hand. Why don't you sit down and have a bite with me? What good is all this if you can't share it, huh? Look, I'd really like to join you, but you don't want to get me canned, do you? The waiter whispered nervously. So, if there's nothing else, would you please sign the check and I'll be going? Tattoo sighed and signed the paper. This is living, man, he murmured to himself. Yeah, for you, the waiter muttered quietly as he walked away. Thank you, sir. Mr. Tattoo, Tattoo said to himself, mimicking the waiter. Back in the historical romance, Captain Warrington and Alison were walking along the riverbank, sharing a picnic basket. I can't understand how someone as pretty as you couldn't find a husband, the captain said smoothly. Who says I'm looking for one? Alison challenged playfully. Because you're a casquette girl, he pointed out. Which means that you've come to the colony to get married. Good point, Alison laughed. You know, you don't have to marry one of those swamp rats, the captain suggested, leaning closer. You could always marry me. But I don't even know you, she replied, her heart racing. But I don't know you either, he smiled. See how much we have in common? You must be just starved after your trip. Let me fix you something to eat. Alison sat back and opened her script book hidden under her apron, whispering to herself. I wonder what happens next in this operetta. Let us see. Act 2, Page 37. He starts to sing while he is thinking about trying to seduce me. True to the script, Captain Warrington stood up, took her hand, and began to sing the iconic melody with passionate intensity. Oh, sweet mystery of life, at last I've found thee. Oh, I know at last the secret of it all. All the longing, seeking, striving, waiting, yearning. The burning hope, the joy, and idle tears that fall. For it is love, and love alone the world is seeking. And it is love, and love alone that can repay. 'Tis the answer, 'tis the end, and all of living. For it is love alone that rules forever. Alison smiled, completely lost in the magic of the moment. She stood up and sang her response beautifully, her voice perfectly clear and tuned. Oh, sweet mystery of life, at last I've found thee. Oh, I know at last the secret of it all. All the longing, seeking, striving, waiting, yearning. The burning hope, the joy, and idle tears that fall. For it is love, and love alone the world is seeking. And it is love, and love alone that can repay. 'Tis the answer, 'tis the end, and all of living. For it is love alone that rules forever. Meanwhile, back in the modern world, Tattoo was walking through the resort gardens, looking completely overwhelmed. He ran into Mr. Rourke's office, out of breath. What's wrong? What's wrong, Mr. Tattoo? What's all that commotion out there? Mr. Rourke asked, looking up from his desk. Boss, they're all going crazy, Tattoo cried out. Strangers are asking me for loans. Other people have me in their yacht. My friends do like they don't even know me anymore. Well, that is to be expected, I suppose, Mr. Rourke said calmly. You see, a man's station in life often dictates who his friends can be. Friends? They were more like a hit squad, Tattoo complained, wiping his brow. Well, then why not hire a bodyguard? Lots of celebrities have them. It would keep the crowds away, Mr. Rourke suggested. Ah, don't worry. I'm sure you will adjust. Which brings me to the reason I wanted you to see me. I knew it, Tattoo said, slumping into a chair. Do you remember when we had so many guests who wanted to stay and live here after their fantasies were fulfilled? Mr. Rourke asked. Yes, Tattoo nodded. That's when I suggested to have a working rule to make room for the new guests, Mr. Rourke explained gently. What are you giving us? Tattoo asked, sensing what was coming. I'm afraid you can't stay on the island any longer, Mr. Rourke said with genuine regret. Regrettably, you'll have to leave on the morning flight. But, boss, I love it here, Tattoo pleaded. All my friends are here. I belong here. I am so sorry. You must believe that. And I hate to see you go, Mr. Rourke said softly. But I'm also very happy for you. Think of all the wonderful things you'll be able to do with your money. Boss, you always have the answer for everything, Tattoo sighed. Do you know any way we can go around this so I can stay here? I'm afraid not, Mr. Rourke replied. It has always been your fantasy to be rich, Tattoo. Suppose I did let you stay. What would happen? Hundreds of people would follow your example and then we would be so overcrowded we could no longer function. Fantasy Island would no longer exist as we know it. Would you want that? No, never, Tattoo admitted, looking down at his shoes. Now you see our hands are tied, Mr. Rourke said, walking over to pat his shoulder. You do know how much I'm going to miss you, don't you? Not as much as I'm going to miss you, Tattoo said sadly. You understand, don't you? Mr. Rourke asked. Yeah, Tattoo muttered. Do you? Mr. Rourke pressed gently. I guess I do, Tattoo sighed. Back in the 17th century house, Mrs. Soames was throwing pots and pans at her pirate captor, refusing to back down. No. Get out of here. No. Get out of here. Get out of here. Stay away from me. No. You'll never get me in the sack. What are you trying to do, kill me? The pirate yelled, ducking as a heavy iron skillet flew past his head. That's the least I'm going to do to you if you don't stay away from me. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Get out of here. And let me get out of here. Let me out. Let me.